Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We continue our recitation from Sukh Mahal Panjwa, Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And in this passage, another short one, Guruji describes Sukh Mahal Jaake Uch Duare. Sukh Mahal, he's speaking of a realm of consciousness where there is sehaj. This is a state of consciousness not dependent on external circumstance. So let's see how he describes it. Suhi mahalla panjwa, sukh mahal jaake uch duare, tameh vaseh bhagat pyare. Sukh mahal jaake, whose mansion is ease, and whose gateways are high, tall, lofty doors, and a mansion of ease. I've used the word ease for sukh because commonly this is described as peace, but it seems to me that it is pointing to a state that is deeper than just ordinary happiness. So, sukh and its opposite dukh share a common root, ka. And ka, historically, chronologically, and etymologically, relates to kai, which is a ditch, and it relates to the axial of a chariot. So these two states that are opposites define whether a ride is smooth or whether it is bumpy, whether you are caught in the ditch or whether you are traveling smoothly along. So for that reason, I have chosen to translate sukh as easy, not bumpy, smooth, because that'll tie in with some of the vocabulary in the following verses. We will see that. So, Sukh Mahal Jaake Uch Duare. Mahal is the other word, which is normally a mansion or a palace, but it signifies a specific place in the palace. This word comes from Persian. It is of Persian origin. And in Persian, it actually signifies an inner chamber. This is the core of one's being, the presence, the space where intimacy is held. Mahal, inner. So this mansion, this realm, this dimension that the Guru is speaking of is an inner space within us where everything is at ease. And here, Sukh is more or less synonymous with Sehaj because you will see that word used in the Rahau. So, Sukh Mahal Jaake Uch Duare. Now, the doors are lofty, very tall. They are described as Uch. A door, Dwar, is a threshold. It means transition from one space to another. It also suggests relationality. Someone could be inside, someone could be outside. And Uch Duare, Uch here actually is marking the ego. What is being said is that the door is too tall for the ego to cross over its own enclosure. Pride, possessiveness, fear cannot pass through it, cannot go that high. So it is saying that you have to raise your consciousness beyond the enclosure of the self. And yet, it says Ta meh vaseh pagat pyare. So in this space, in this dimension, therein dwell the beloved Pagats. The Pagats are already there. So why Bhakti? Because the way to get there is Bhakti. And why Bhakti? Devotion. Devotional love is the only non-possessive way to inhabit that inner chamber. There are other methods which people pursue. Within the Indian systems, you have Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, but you also have Bhakti. And the gurus have essentially synthesized all of them. The problem with Gyan and Karma is that both of these paths risk identity claim and merit claim. It's easy to say, I am the knower of this, or that I have earned this. In other words, both Gyan and Karam give Haume a foothold. And if Haume has a foothold, then the Uch Duare will remain high for the ego. But the Uch Duara is also a state of higher consciousness. So structurally, Bhakti is the only compatible path with Sukh. That is the only way to get there. Elsewhere in Gurbani, Babaji says, Mithat Nini Nanaka, Gun Changiya Tat, bending, surrender. And now we come to the Rahau. Sahaj Katha Prabh ki at meethi, Virale kahu nitar ho dithi. So now you see Sahaj Katha, that Uch Mahal has become Sahaj Katha. And I have translated it as the Prabh's effortless telling. Sahaj. There is no effort here. It is effortless. Sahaj Katha Prabh ki. The Prabh is actually speaking here. It is his or the Prabh's telling. And it is ati meethi. It is exceedingly sweet. Virle kahu netron dithi. Rare ones behold it with their eyes. So you see, there is sweetness and there is vision. Eyes and the tongue. Cross modalities, which means it is beyond the fold of the senses. That place, Sahaj Katha Prabh ki at meethi, Virle kahu netri diti. So there is this cosmic drama, Katha, that is happening, that is unfolding, if you will, even though unfolding may not be quite the word, but this is the Prabh. This is the Sabad unfolding. Sahaj is not just passive or indifferent. It is spontaneous, harmonious, and emerging. Atabiti, this is not a sentimental emotion. It is something that is known directly because when you taste something sweet, you know it directly. And yet it brings in the eyes, netri. The truth is not simply heard or intellectually understood. Again, it must be directly perceived. The tongue and the ears must perceive this reality directly. And then it says, what happens there? The Guru is now describing this cosmic drama. And it is all within, meaning you are witness to it. The Geet Naad Akhare Sangha, Uha Sant Karhen Hari Ranga. Now the Bhagats here have become Sants. This is another definition. Sant comes from Sat, which means the truth, reality. It also comes from Santa, which means tranquil. So you see, the Guru is essentially speaking to us about a tranquil mind that has awakened. Teh geet naad akhare sanga. There, songs and melodies, arenas and assemblies. There, the sants delight in the play and color of the har. They are delighting. Sehaj is to be in delight. So that realm of Sehaj is not silent, empty, or lifeless. It is vibrating with Geet and Naad. Awakened existence is musical. So music arises when distinct notes do not lose their individuality but enter into relationship. In the same way, harmony does not require the erasure of difference. Naad. It arises when difference no longer becomes conflict. So Naad is the more audible sound, the melody, the resonance, the underlying vibration through which apparently separate lives participate in one interconnected reality. And this is what the awakened mind begins to sense. Life not as a collection of disconnected events, but as a living composition. And the word akhare is interesting. It comes from akhara, which means a wrestling pit. And it suggests an arena, an assembly, a stage, if you will, of shared activity. So this spiritual realm is not an escape. There is sangha, companionship, participation, and community. And that is where the awakened mind lives, the sant, hararanga, in the color, in the delight, in the play of Hari. So where the ego sees competition, the santa, the awakened mind, hears music. Where the ego sees isolation, the awakened mind discovers companionship. Where the ego sees meaningless events, the awakened mind recognizes the play of Hari. Furthermore, तह मरण न जीवन सोग न हरखा साच नाम की अमृत वर्खा. Continuing with that, there, neither dying nor living, neither grief nor gladness. So what is there? Sach Naam ki Amrit Varkha, the Amrit rain of Sach Naam. This is the name of reality. There, the nectar, the delight of Sach Naam is undying. It is consistently happening. So we experience life through opposites. There is life and death, Maran and Jivan. There is Harakasog, sorrow and happiness. There is arrival, there is departure, so on and so forth. Now, the verse is not denying all of this. We do live in a world of opposites, but there is a non oppositional consciousness within us that we have to cultivate. It sees that they arise, that these opposites are arising within an indivisible whole. And into this non oppositional consciousness, non dual, falls Amrita Varkha, the nectar rain of Sachanam. So you see, Nam again is not simply repeating a word, it is the self disclosing presence and pattern of the real. Sachanam is the enduring actuality beneath all passing appearances. And the image of rain is important. Rain does not remain on the surface. It descends, it penetrates, it softens and nourishes the ground. In the same way, Nam saturates consciousness until the hardened boundaries of the ego become permeable. And now, in the fourth concluding verse, that Sahaj Katha is now explained. The Virla is explained. The Guru says, Gehaj Katha e gur te jani, Nanak bole har har bani. This hidden telling You see, the telling of the Prabh, Sahaj Katha ki, Prabh ki, is now Gehaj Katha. It is hidden. It is not visible to the eyes. Sahaj Katha, Gehaj Katha, eh. This is a hidden telling. Gur te jani. It is known through the Gur. Nanak bola har har bani. Nanak speaks the bani of har har. Har har here is to emphasize. This is emphasis. So the Rahav called the divine narrative effortless, Sahaj Katha. The concluding verse calls it Gehaj Katha, effortless and hidden. It is the same telling, two registers, two adjectives chimed in together, and they resolve the idea of a virle ko, scarce, which was not explained in the Rahav, but here it is being explained that the thing that is concealed because the ego centered mind cannot readily perceive it is cured by the Guru. The Guru supplies the remedy. Gur te jani. So the rare eyes that see this cosmic drama, these eyes are given, these eyes of perception are given by the Guru, and the Guru is the Har itself. So what was absent from that inner presence was the eyes given by the Guru. Gur te. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.